Good morning, everyone. This is Staci Wallace with a Warrior DNA Extra. Okay, here's the deal. I am going to do a little booty wake-up call today on those of you that are building your own business. We're going to call this today's booty, because we don't say but, except for I just said it, booty buster. Right? So I'm going to tell you what every upline would like to tell you, or every boss would like to tell you, or what every coach would like to tell you, but maybe they're afraid of losing you. So I'm going to say it because you need to hear it. I'm going to say what you need to hear this morning, not what you want to hear. So it's Tuesday morning. You probably got up like usual, did your normal routine. Some of you went to work. Some of you had your breakfast. Guess what? Today is a day that you are going to get off your anatomy and you're going to go to work. And you're going to stop having excuses that you don't have the right upline, you don't have the right company, you don't have the right products, you don't have the right team, that you're all by yourself, that you can't do it, the market's not right, I live in a city that's too small. Listen, after this nearly 3 decades in this industry, I'm going to tell you there is no excuse in the world that is a real excuse that you can't overcome. I've got friends that live in town of 1,500 people and they're making over 200 grand a month. So you can't tell me that you live in a city that's saturated or too small. You've got to get a bigger mentality. This morning, I want you to hear something. 3 things I want you to think about. Learn, earn, enjoy. Okay? Learn, earn, enjoy. Now, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, no matter what your plans are, no matter where you want to go, no matter what rank you want to be, no matter what the promotion is, guess what? Life does not fall in your lap. You gotta work for it. You gotta work and sweat day and night for it. You gotta give up sleep for it. You've gotta be willing to do what other people won't do so you can see a world that other people will never see. You've gotta be willing to recognize that nothing good in life comes for free. You've got to wake up today. Like right now, if you're in the middle of your morning, I want you to just act like you have an imaginary reset button and hit the reset button on your life and say, I'm done with the excuses. I'm tired of looking at everybody else going, well, why is it working for them? And when's it going to be my turn? You know what? You can say that for the rest of your life. Or you can be like a Martin Luther King Jr. You can be like an Oprah Winfrey. You can be like a Bill Gates. You can be like a Mark Zuckerberg. You can be like a world leader, a history maker. You can be a world changer, but it's not going to happen for you. You have to make things happen. If you want to stop having to continually start over, then stop quitting. You know, there was a season in my life where I used to quit every single day because it felt like I just had the world against me. You know, a company had gone under, and so I went with a new company, and it was a totally different industry, and this was about 5 years ago. And you know what? I thought to myself, this is too hard. I just can't do it. But I eventually ended up building a network of 250,000 people. Why? Because I didn't quit. Why? Because I kept getting up. I kept posting. You know, here's the thing. Some of you are on social media and you're like, nobody likes my pictures. Well, guess what? When I post about my business, nobody likes my pictures either, because nobody wants to be sold on social media. But guess what else? Just because they're not liking it today doesn't mean they're not seeing it. You are getting eyeballs on your content. When you're talking to people and they say, nah, I'm not interested, that does not mean no. It just means not now. You've got to get to a place in your heart where you realize, I don't care, you know, it's a great weekend. Here it's Easter weekend. And what was one of the greatest sayings that Jesus said? You know, what was one of the greatest sayings when he walked out and Peter was there on the water, used to fishing? He walks up and he pitches his deal to Peter. Peter is all about his business. He thinks he's got the best products. He thinks he's got a great business. And what does Jesus do? Yo, take up your nets, throw aside your nets, follow me. So what was he saying? Join my crew. He was saying, like, what I've got is better than what you've got. Give up everything and follow me. What are you doing as a direct sales leader? What are you doing as a boss? What are you doing as an executive? People don't follow companies. People follow leadership. People don't walk away from what they're currently doing and give time to something else unless they believe in the leader that they're following. So you don't have a recruiting problem. You don't have a product problem. You don't have a company problem. You have a leadership problem. And until you get your headset right, your mindset right, nobody is going to follow you. Instead of being like the law of attraction, you're going to be like a law of disillusion. People are going to look at you and one day you're doing this and the next day you're doing that and oh my gosh, I got another new thing and oh wow, look at what I found. Oh my gosh, you're going to have like hypoallergenic tampons and pads. What? Stop already. Stop jumping ship and get focused. This is your booty buster. Some of you right now, you need to contact your upline and say, listen, I have been giving you a half effort and today I'm committing to give you my best. Our pastor, Keith Kraft, spoke on a message this last week, and he kept saying, your greatest and highest calling in life is to be the best version of you so that you can be a reflection of God to the world around you. And I ask you right now, so maybe you're good in your marriage, and maybe you're good in your finances, but are you the best version of you in every area? Are you the best version of you in your business? Watch this. Here's my challenge for you today. A lot of you have been saying, you know, I have people in my network, like right now I got up this morning, this is why I'm kind of hyped about this. And I looked at people that paid money to be in one of our businesses, and I'm like, they never even did anything. They just like paid money. Who does that? Who in business just says, oh, I'm going to start a business and then never go get customers? Who starts a company and decides I'm never going to market? Who just says, here's money, and then never does anything? How many of you have had people like that? Of course you have. Maybe you've got people that you've talked to and you're like, I don't understand it. I'm doing all the work. Why is my team not working? Well, here's why. It's because people are disillusioned. They don't understand that owning a home-based business is not a slot machine. You don't just put money in and then cha-ching, money comes out. It is a bona fide business. It's an authentic business. Now here's the same thing. For those of you who are getting a job, you're not going to get a promotion by just sitting in your chair. You're going to have to go to work, prove yourself, show up every day. Punch the time clock, maybe 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. You're going to be watched. You're going to have a boss looking over you saying, are you doing your work? Are you doing your work? You're going to have to take off time in order to go spend time with your family. Why, for those of you who are home-based business owners, why would you think that starting your own business is going to be any less effort? Why would you think that, I'm going to talk to a few people and, I started talking to people and nobody's doing it and it's hard. It's so hard. It is not hard. Let me tell you what hard is. Go look up Garrett White's Warrior Camp. Go check out what Garrett White puts guys through in his freaking warrior beast psycho camp. Now these are guys that are paying ridiculous amounts of money in order to be a better version of themselves, right? Okay, so maybe you don't know that, and just beware. My dear passionate friend Garrett drops the F-bomb like he makes Gary Vaynerchuk look like Mother Teresa. So, but if you can't deal with that, then don't go look that up. But if you can, I want you to see what it takes to become a better version of you. You know what? Look up what it actually takes to run Facebook. How many employees, just go back and look at what Mark Zuckerberg had to do, how many hours he had to put in before he hit tipping point, before the company didn't cave. And here's what's amazing to me about home-based business owners. They think that they can wake up, talk to, a couple people this week, and then judge the company, judge their upline, judge their team, because they're not waking up and doing what's necessary. So here's a thought. For those of you who have become a bit excuse-oriented and you're trying to figure out right now, why is it not working for me? I want to give you a process, a model that you can look at and go, am I doing the process? So here's the deal. If you've started your business, I want you to think about 1 year to learn. Now, I know in home-based businesses you can make some money, but you are not going to make massive income that is sustainable in your first year. You're just not. I've made bukus of money, a huge amount of money in this industry. But I'm telling you, on the masses, you are not going to hit the cash cow in your first year. In fact, the first year is a struggle. Even if you do make a lot of money, you're constantly having to train your people, equip your people. People don't follow businesses. Remember, they follow leadership. So you're going to constantly have to keep even on the tough days. Ladies, even on the days when you are hormonally bust, you have got to put on a smile and you got to do the deal. You got to get up when no one else is getting up. You've got to stay consistent. That first year, even though you might make some chump change and some of you might make $1,000, $10,000 a month, it is not consistent and it is not sustainable in your first year. It just means you got lucky. So for those of you who right now, you've been like, I'm 6 months into this and I've only made $54. So what? Keep going. And I encourage you to look at, am I doing everything? Are you going for 40 no's a week? That means you're peaking or you're engaging at least 5 to 10 people every single day. And if you think you don't have to do that, then I'm just telling you, you need to ask for your money back if you're within your first 14 days and tell that person that got you in the business, do them a favor. Don't waste their time. Do them a favor and say, you know what? I thought this was going to be easy. I'm looking for something easy. And then let them give you a lottery ticket and see how that works out for you. But if you are truly passionate about your business, if you have a dream and a desire to be more than you want to be right now, have more than you've currently got, live the dream. Larry and I get to live every single day, waking up together, sleeping in when we want to, traveling around the world, building our business because we've paid a price to live that life. 1 year to learn, second year, year 2, 2 years to earn. In your second year, if you're consistent in your first year, if you're consistent, if you pay the price, if you're peaking people, you've got enough people after 12 months, if you've been peaking people 5 a day to 10 a day, every single day, in year 2, your funnel will be so massively filled with leads because you did what you had to do in the first year. Now I'm going to ask you, you're being, I don't want to wait 2 years. In your current job, how long would it take you to make an extra $10,000 a month, which it's very possible to do in the world of direct sales or home-based business ownership? So how long would it take you for somebody to go, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to give you a $10,000 raise? It's not going to happen. For most of you, it's not going to happen. So here's an industry that's lifted the lid for you to say, if you will be a good leader of yourself first, if you'll have self-mastery to get yourself up every day, have a consistent plan, have a success planner that you follow that path, if you'll do that deal for a year, you're going to start to see that you will, year 2, start to earn. And year 3 to 5, then you'll start to enjoy freedom. You will have consistency, consistency, consistency. But when people jump in to anything, a weight loss program, oh, you know what? I'm going to try to put my marriage back together. I'm going to give it 30 days. Boy, if they're not making me feel oogly googly again, I'm out. What? Are you kidding me? That is the problem with this society and this generation. We want microwave success. We want always hot, always on relationships, but we're not willing to pay the price for what that requires. Larry and I, we just celebrated 20 years of marriage. We're getting ready here in less than 10 days. We're going to Africa, on a trip to Africa with our company. Those things don't come because we've just done average. We live an extraordinarily passionate, sex-filled, love-filled, romantic life because we are intentional about that. And when one of us gets soft, one of us will just say, hey, look, I just spent an hour getting ready. Do I smell good? Do I look good? Because sometimes you have to remind each other, whoa, I'm not on my A game. Why is that? Every week, we're putting time into our relationship because it is one of our highest core values. It's one of the best gifts that we can give our team, is them seeing a healthy relationship in such a high net worth family. A lot of people can make money, but they suck at doing life. And I'm just telling you right now, if you want the freedom, if you want to enjoy the life, then you're going to have to embrace the process. Okay, real quick, let's look at this. A couple of things. Here's what you do not want to do if you're wanting to have a life of freedom. If you want to enjoy a life of freedom in the next 3 to 5 years, in 3 years, I'll be 50. And if that's the case, in 3 years I'll be 50. That means I got to have a 3-year strategy, a 3-year plan that when I hit 50, I'm going to be the best version of me that I can possibly be so I can help other people be the best version of them. Here's the do nots. Do not focus on results. Focus on going through the process. So if you have a blunder, if you mess up, if you forget your speech on stage, if you make a mistake at work, don't focus on the results. Focus on the process. And here is a great scripture for you to add to your arsenal. All things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to His purposes. What are His purposes? Not being about yourself and being about a bigger cause that truly does affect humanity. So think about it. All things, even your mistakes, all things, even the divorce, all things, even the fact that you fell off the wagon on your non-drinking plan, all things, just get back up and start over. All things work together for good. Number 2 is don't avoid pain, accept the process. It's funny that people will go to the gym and they don't want to hurt. But you realize that the pain is a part of the process of the production of your peak performance. And so if you try to walk away and go, it was just too hard, it was difficult, and I couldn't do it, guess what? You are going to consistently be starting over. You're going to consistently live in a life of I wish I could, I had. Or pay the price of pain and look back and say, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. And the final thing is don't fear failure. Everybody fails. Show me one. Look up the word adversity. Just look up the word adversity and see what words are attached to the word adversity. My son is doing a speech that is on the topic of adversity, and he's getting ready to go to regionals. We looked up the word adversity, and the words that describe adversity are the same words that there is not, whether it's Abraham Lincoln or any great world leader, not one of those words did he not have to face in order to become a world changer and a history maker. So today, if you're feeling down in the molly grubs, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling like you haven't quite hit it, don't quit. Zig Ziglar, a dear friend of mine, before he passed away, I got to travel with Zig and love his family, 12 years. Anyhow, he said something, it was 2.5 years failing in sales. 2.5 years. He didn't have sales, he wasn't doing good, till that one day he got up, it was snowing outside, and he looked out the window and thought to himself, I'm not going to go to the training meeting. I'm not going to go to the sales meeting. And he crawled back in bed. But because he had set a standard of his goals, because he was a self-leader, he said, no, I've made a commitment that I will succeed. He got himself back out of bed, went to that meeting, and something happened in that meeting that flipped the switch of him, and he went on to be not only a sales master, but one of the most brilliant communicators and sales coaches in history. Look him up, zigziglar.com for those youngins that don't know who that is. zigziglar.com. Look at the legacy he left behind because he was willing to not put the money in the slot machine and expect the joy to come out, but he was willing to go through the process. Don't fear failure. Go for no this week. What does that mean? This week, peak or engage, connect with at least 5 people a day about your business, about your coaching, about whatever it is you're representing, at least 5 people a day. Be diligent to it. If you get up and let's say it's 7 o'clock tonight and you only have 3, get online. Do something to engage at least 5 people a day and see what happens to your process. This is Staci Wallace, your booty wake-up call this morning, and I'm looking forward to hearing the results. Remember, now is the time, this is the place, and you are the one to help us make life better for many. Have a great day, everybody.